Hey guys, it's BJaws, and sorry about the lack of videos lately. I've just been busy with work and adult things that are overrated. I would rather play Halo all day, trust me, but here we are. So I'm just going to go over some of my thoughts on the Halo Infinite technical preview and give you guys my thoughts on like what I liked, what I didn't like about it, and that sort of thing. So first of all, I just want to say that it was an awesome opportunity to actually get to play this. So thank you to 343 for that opportunity, and if you're a Halo fan like I am, I'm sure you loved every second of it. I know that I did, and the fact that we got to play it early was pretty amazing. And you know, give some feedback to the developer to improve the game before it launches is a great opportunity for gamers. So I really just want to say thank you to Halo and 343 for making such an amazing game and also giving us the opportunity to play it early. So let's just start out by saying my overall experience with the Halo Infinite technical preview with Big Team was amazing. I absolutely loved it, and I wanted more of it. I didn't want it to stop. I absolutely grinded it because I enjoyed every second of it. Now, maybe that's part because we've been playing Halo 5 for almost 6 years straight now, and I've just been craving that new Halo experience, and we finally got that with Halo Infinite, a little taste of it, that is. But I would say just the sandbox for Halo Infinite, the gameplay, everything was just so much fun, and it just really built into that classic Halo experience, but added its new twist to it with new equipment, new weapons, new vehicles. And I just really enjoyed every minute of it, and I just wanted to play some more. My favorite part was obviously Big Team Battle. I love Big Team in Halo, no matter what Halo it is. Warzone, of course, you guys probably know that already. Absolutely love that when it was released. I played Big Team in the classic Halos as well. This is my favorite game type. And then Halo Infinite Big Team was so much fun. It just brought back that classic Big Team Battle chaos that you would expect to experience for a Halo game, but also added its new twist with the new equipment, some of the new weapons, grenades, vehicles that you can try. So it just brings back that classic Halo fun that everybody knows and loves and fell in love with to begin with. Let's go over some of the equipment that we got to use. The grapple shot we're going to address first and foremost because I think that is the most fun equipment that we've ever had in Halo. And it just changes the sandbox so much, changes the gameplay. It makes it very unpredictable for players. You just don't know what's going to happen with it. You know, you can get players that use it in crazy ways and be like Spider-Man and go on these cliffs or, you know, these crazy hidden spots that you would never even think. Use them against vehicles, use them against other players. I mean, there's just so many ways that you can take advantage of the grapple shot and change the gameplay with it, make it so unpredictable that's what makes it so much fun to use. I'm glad they added to Halo Infinite. Now, I really don't think that they need to change a whole lot about it because I felt like it was pretty balanced with it when I played it in Halo Infinite. You know, maybe some people had some complaints with it. Maybe it's, you know, you can use it too much. But I just felt like it's pretty balanced, and I didn't feel like people were really overpowered with it in any way. You can still kill people when they use it mid-air, so that's nice. But I just feel like, you know, it had a pretty good balance with how you can use it and how you can even use it across the map and change the gameplay. The Repulsor equipment is also very fun to use and changes the gameplay. It makes it unpredictable as well, which makes it so much fun. I mean, you can actually change, you know, the way vehicles are coming at you, the way enemy players are coming at you, what they shoot at you, what they throw at you. You can bounce it all back to them, and you can launch vehicles and players in many different ways. So it just changes the gameplay so much. It makes it unpredictable. It's really a lot of fun to use. I'm wondering if they're going to nerf this anyway. Maybe it's too OP for some people. Maybe they'll change the cooldown for it. I really don't know, but I felt like it wasn't too bad. You know, maybe some spots with vehicles, they could change that a little bit where vehicles aren't as susceptible to it. But I feel like overall, it made the overall gameplay of Halo Infinite very fun and made me want to keep picking it up and trying to use it in many different ways. I thought the drop wall was pretty cool to use too because you can actually use it to your advantage. If you use it correctly, you can drop it in front of you, actually shoot through it, and the enemy, you know, they don't expect you to drop that, so they think they're going to hit you with these shots first, when you can actually hit them first and foremost and then end up getting that kill. It's going to take them a little bit to get that shield off of you to protect you if they're putting shots into it, and that way that gives you the advantage and you can kill them first. So I really like the drop wall. I think it's pretty nice, and it gives you a little extra cover. You know, if you want to just sit in a spot and, you know, the side of you is like open to some snipers or whatever, it just gives you that extra added time to make a different decision in that moment. So I like the drop wall too. Now, one thing I would like to see with the drop wall, I wish that you could stick it onto things like vehicles or other bases, you know, on top of the base or whatever it might be, on top of trees. Who knows? I feel like that would change the gameplay as well. Like, just imagine if you could put that on the vehicle, drive around with it. You know, if somebody shot like a skewer shot at it and then it hit that drop wall and bounced back or something, you know, it's just something like that. I think it'd be pretty fun. So I'm hoping that they can add that to the actual game, but we'll see. Talking about the threat detector equipment that you can use, I thought it was fun to use as well because it's kind of like an extended radar in the distance. So if you're camping somewhere and you're looking in one direction, you can launch that in the other direction, and you can have that advantage of knowing when the enemy's coming before they can actually see you or hear you. So it's actually not a bad equipment to use whatsoever, and I found myself using it every now and again. Going over some of the weapons we got to use, the BR was great. It felt great, sounded great, looked like the classic Halo 2 BR that you can use, and I absolutely loved every second of it. No complaints there whatsoever, so I wouldn't change it in any way. The pistol sidekick I thought was interesting to use. I felt like it was a weapon that I don't feel too confident with trying to get gunfights and winning gunfights with. I feel like it's more like the gunfighter magnum in Halo 5. I'm sure you guys remember that. And just a weapon that I really, don't want to use a whole lot. And I'm hoping that they change a little bit. I just feel like some of the shots didn't register so much. It feels like it's pretty inaccurate sometimes. Now, I don't want it to be a dominant force like Halo 5. I know that it's supposed to serve its purpose as the pistol. And then if you want a long-range weapon, you can use the BR or DMAR or whatever it is. And I know that it has that advantage of the shorter range with the pistol. But I just feel like, I don't know, I wasn't as confident with it when I was going into gunfights as I wanted to be. Maybe it's because of the sensitivity in the game. I'm not really sure. But I'm hoping that they make a few changes to it because it just feels like it's really not that amazing of a weapon to use. So we'll see what they do with it. The sniper rifle was also fun to use. Now, it's a little more challenging than what we would experience in the classic Halos or Halo 5, especially because there's very, if any, bullet magnetism in this game. And it's very hard to actually hit the shots with the sniper rifle. That could also be part because of the sensitivity. We're not used to that. So definitely got to play around with that. And I can't wait till I can try it some more. But it is rewarding when you get the shots. And I do feel like you have to be very accurate with the sniper rifle. And I think that's how it should be with snipers. You don't want it to make it too easy with that thing because it's a very OP weapon when you're able to hit their shots. So I'm really not, too disappointed in the sniper rifle whatsoever. However, I would say that it definitely could change in the audio aspect where it sounds a little more powerful. It just feels like it doesn't have that crackling sniper rifle shot that you would expect it to have. So I feel like that's a little bit lacking in this game, and maybe they'll change that. The skewer is also a very fun weapon to use because it feels very rewarding when you actually hit your shots. It is a little challenging as well, and it feels like you really have to lead the opponent in those longer range shots. But I feel like it's a weapon that I definitely want to pick up, especially against vehicles, and try to get those multi-kills with it with the one shot. So it makes it fun in that aspect. And then when you actually do hit those shots against the enemy Spartans, it feels very rewarding shooting that huge spike right into them and obliterating them. The shock rifle, also a new weapon that we got to see and use in Halo Infinite. I thought it was really fun. I took advantage of it quite a bit. I feel like people didn't take advantage of it as much as they should have, or as much as I did. I feel like it's a pretty good weapon actually overall. You can actually get one-shot kills with it if you hit them in the head with it. It's just very satisfying. You have to be accurate with it as well. So, but it is rewarding when you get those kills. I do also like the aspect that you can disable vehicles when you hit them multiple times with it. And I just feel like, when you get the multi-kills with it, it's very rewarding. And it's one of those longer range weapons that you can really get good at and, use and can be a little OP if you hit those shots and be very annoying to the enemy team. So I actually like the shock rifle, and there's really not a whole lot that I would change with it, to be honest with you guys. Another weapon we got to use was the Bulldog shotgun, which I'm not a huge fan of. I just felt like it was very weak. I did not like that you could not cancel reload it. It kind of prevented some of those multi-kills that you could get. I just feel like it's not as good as it should be, and they need to up, either the damage that you can do to it or the fire rate or something in it. I'm not sure, but I just feel like it was not a very good shotgun, and I wish, maybe they'll bring back the classic shotguns or just change this one so it feels more like that. I don't know, but I just feel like it wasn't that good of a shotgun to use, and I'm hoping that they change, either make it more powerful or something, but it's not something that I really enjoyed to use in the Halo Infinite technical preview. Another weapon I wasn't a huge fan of was the Heat Wave. I just feel like it wasn't very consistent most of the time, even more inconsistent than the scatter shot. I just feel like when I shot it, you don't know if the weapon is going to actually hit the enemy with the hit markers or if it's going to kill them. Just very unpredictable most of the time. Sometimes I would get killed, sometimes I wouldn't. It's just kind of odd. I didn't really, maybe it's just because I didn't really know how to use it, but I just feel like it's a weapon that I really wouldn't pick up a whole lot in the game unless I absolutely had to, if I was out of ammo or something like that. Just felt like it wasn't very rewarding to kills with, and I'm hoping that it makes some changes to it. Another weapon we got to try was the Pulse Carbine, which feels like it's very effective when it lands the shots, but it's inconsistent with the shots, in my opinion. I don't know. I never really got a good chance to use it. I just felt like it was hard to get those shots and land those shots most of the time. But when you could, it's a very effective weapon and it kills pretty easily. So I'm not sure what they'll change on that one, and maybe I just need more time with it. But it's a fun weapon to try nonetheless. The Needler, the classic pink mist, was fun to use. I felt like it was pretty decent, pretty powerful, and it got some kills with it. I feel like the Hailstorm is a lot more fun to use, though. That's my favorite Needler in all the Halos, so I'm hoping that it can be a little more like that one. but I think it was still pretty good. The plasma pistol wasn't as effective as it could have been. I feel like that it didn't track as well as it could have. And the fact that it doesn't disable vehicles is kind of disappointing because that's what we're so used to. Now, I think that that's where the shock rifle comes in and those grenades. We can disable vehicles, and maybe they didn't want to do it because it'd be too many weapons that you can actually use to disable vehicles. But I just really wish that they would have the plasma pistol as using the disability, the EMP disability as well, because I just feel like that's what we're so used to with the classic Halos, that that's not something you should change. The Commando Weapon was also a very interesting weapon for me to use because at first I absolutely hated everything about it. I was just struggling to get any kind of kills with it, and I was very upset with it. I didn't want to use it, but then I learned that you have to burst fire it, and it's a lot more effective. And when you hit those headshots, it kills pretty dang quickly. So it's actually a fun weapon to use, and I enjoyed using it quite a bit as my secondary with the BR. Going over some of the vehicles that we got to try, I would say overall, I don't like the fact that they're not very durable, and I do not like that they initiate the final explosion before they explode, because I feel like it's kind of kicking you out of the vehicle before you want it to, and it's premature. So instead of actually being able to drive the vehicle or fly it longer and try to get some more kills, it kicks you out and doesn't allow you to do that. And I just don't like that aspect of it at all. And I'm hoping that they change that, get rid of that totally, because that is not what we're used to with any of the vehicles in Halo. And just the durability of them as well. It just feels like they're pretty dang weak, especially the Halo Infinite Banshee. I just feel like that was not nearly as effective as it could have been. The Banshee bomb itself, it felt like it wasn't as powerful as it could be. The splash damage on it wasn't good against vehicles, enemy Spartans. And then when you do the lunge forward, it feels like it's too controlling. It's lunging you too far, and it's not as effective with the flying maneuvers as it could be. And the durability is just so weak that I really want them to address that and change it. I know you don't want the Banshee to be all, super powerful and just too dominant on the battlefield. But at the same time, you don't want to be too weak that you don't even want to fly it. I just feel like it wasn't even worth it to fly it because it just wasn't getting any kills with it. So hopefully they change that and make it a lot better. We'll see how that goes. The Ghost and the Warthog felt pretty good as well. I would say overall, those are pretty decent vehicles. I never actually got to drive the Scorpion, so I can't really say on that. So maybe next time when I play the game, I'll be able to get a good use of it. Also, like the grenades that we got to use, I think it was called the Dynamo grenades, where it has the electric shock to it and disables vehicles. Fun to use. Found myself using that quite a bit against enemy players and also vehicles. You can just disable their shields or the vehicles altogether and just whip out your primary or secondary weapon and finish them off. So it's a pretty good grenade. And also the classic fragmentation and plasma grenades are fun to use, and spikers as well. Some of the visual effects with the fragmentation grenades, I wasn't a huge fan of. It just felt like it was a little fake and over the top, so maybe they'll address that. So I would say the overall experience that I had with the game was great. I absolutely loved every minute of it. We got to try some new game types, Total Control, which I thought was fun. CTF, classic CTF was great. And it just made me wanting to play it more and more because I enjoyed it so much. Also, the map fragmentation was aesthetically pleasing, very beautiful, and the size of it I thought was pretty good. And I cannot wait to see some more maps that we get to play for Big Team especially. Now keep in mind that this was just a technical preview and this was an older build, so I'm sure they already addressed some of these issues and they're going to address more based off the feedback that we give them. But I had so much fun with this technical preview. I cannot wait for the actual game to release, and I cannot wait to see what 343 does with some of the changes that we recommended with the feedback that we gave them. So very exciting time to be a Halo player for sure, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the full game when it releases December 8th, as I'm sure some of you guys as well cannot wait for it. So let me know what you guys think about it. Did you guys enjoy the technical preview as much as I did? Please do let me know down in the comments. What would you change? What did you like? What didn't you like? Please do let me know. I love hearing your comments, seeing them, and reading them, and getting that feedback from you guys directly. It's always fun to engage in that conversation. So thank you guys once again for watching this video. Always appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys next video. See ya.